Greetings everyone. I hope each viewer watching this video today is safe and healthy and is also staying indoors if possible. Today's video will be in context to the recent happenings going on in the Middle Eastern region, that is the conflict between Israel and Palestine that has taken a new turn whilst being an ancient issue as it always was. Following days of clash between the Israel police and the right Jew activists along with the Palestinians on the other hand in East Jerusalem, tensions between the two sides escalated after Hamas, which is like a nationalist militant organization based out of Gaza, launched attacks in Israel, in response to which Tel Aviv retaliated. However, the retaliation towards the Palestinian demonstrators was particularly brutal. East Jerusalem had been under Israeli control since 1967, when Tel Aviv had defeated its Arab enemies in the famous Six-Day War and absorbed that territory. Jordan took control of the West Bank when it won its war in 1948 and had resettled the Palestinian refugees, which ultimately Israel took over in 1967 and managed to retake it till date. In other words, the rest of the West Bank is occupied territory and East Jerusalem forms part of the sovereign Israeli state. This violence in the recent weeks comes from the fact that a controversial court case might evict hundreds of Palestinians from their homes in East Jerusalem and the neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah. Jewish settlers claim that they were the original holders of the place before 1948 when Jordan took control of it, whereas they have the right to evict the Palestinian people holding their original territory. Whereas this Sheikh Jarrah issue has garnered a lot of enormous attention from all over the world and now has garnered immense sympathy and empathy for the Palestinian cause and a huge amount of great distaste for the Israeli discriminatory policies for the entire Palestinian and the occupied territory people. Both the Israeli human rights documentary and other, which is a human rights watch based out of New York, both condemned how Israel torments and also discriminates against the Palestinian refugees who are in the territory and also the captured territories. That is how the ill treatment goes on. The combustible mix of institutionalized apartheid, violation of religious sentiments, and impending eviction from the homeland is what Israel is actually causing to the Palestinian refugees. On the Jerusalem day, the Jewish activists parade, they marched through the city in a notorious manner while singing songs, insulting the Palestinians and chanting discriminatory slogans. On 10th May, a week before that, what happened was they chanted "Death to the Arabs" as they marched on the streets, which provoked the Palestinians. And of course, ultimately this all led to a lot of chaos between the Israeli right-wingers and also the Palestinian demonstrators. During this time, Hamas, which is also the nationalized militant organization, took advantage of it and launched their attack on Tel Aviv by firing rockets, and which resulted to a lot of Israeli citizens losing their lives. In retaliation to which Tel Aviv and Israel retaliated on the Gaza area and Hamas by shooting rockets and killing many innocent Palestinians on the way and also destroying a skyscraper which was supposedly to be a head for the demonstrations and activities of the Hamas. This entire incident took place on a huge level and garnered a lot of international recognition, which was commented upon by US, which was indirectly an enabler to this entire issue, said that they wanted to de-escalate both the sides to the entire violence that has been happening. Also, many international organizations like European Union and other also made comments that this thing which was happening was inappropriate and unacceptable. It's very easy to say by these international communities and organizations what was happening between the two sides, which aren't actually equals, by one being far more superior in the terms of technologically advanced and also how kind of military influence that they have. Yet, finally, the Palestinians who are suffering continue to suffer, yet they are dispossessed, they are humbled, they don't know what they have to do, yet they are displaced. Even with their coming Nukba on Saturday, as they have to commemorate that special day, they are not able to do so. What comes down to is them being betrayed by their fellow Arab brothers and then finally being mastered by their Jewish lords. Thank you.